Hi, this is Jacob from PXM-Tuts.com and welcome to our new Pixelmator tutorial video series called Pixelmator QuickSteps. Today we're going to help new users set up Pixelmator 2 for the first time. Now what am I talking about? Well, if we go in here and we open Pixelmator for the first time, not everything is shown to you right away. The Pixelmator team has hidden some of the tools and features for the sake of a clean, simple introduction to first-time users. And this is a good way of thinking. It doesn't throw everything at you at once, but as you get to know the application, you can go in and open these up. But sometimes this causes some frustration as to where these things are. So today we'll show you how to find these and turn them on. So this is what Pixelmator 2 looks like when you first open the application in its default mode. In any application you go to, it's always a good idea to go to the preferences first off. And here we can find some of these features and tools that don't show up right away. Under the General tab, you'll be able to set the new document background. Whenever you open a new canvas, this will be the default. Now I like the transparent mode here because it allows me to choose the color I want, but you decide. Now under here, I recommend leaving all of these checked. The welcome screen at the beginning is a really nice feature. You can get right to a recent project or even start a new one, so these are all real nice. And leave the tooltips on, it just helps you. Now let's move on to the Tools tab. This is really unique, and you notice that when I clicked on the Tools tab, the Tools palette now shows a resizing indicator right here. And this is unique to Pixelmator. It actually makes the Tools palette editable, and this is really cool. So notice if you pull this open, you can actually change your size of your tool palette. And you can easily take a tool and drag and drop it to remove. And of course you can go back in whenever you want and drag it back into the palette, which is really nice. So you can configure the Pixelmator Tools palette any way you like, which is really neat. You could have it go across the top, down on the side, anything you want. But that's not really why we stopped here to talk about it. The reason is there's some tools that aren't in the Tools palette by default. And so a lot of people are asking, where are some of these tools? And if you go through each of the categories here, you'll be able to find some that aren't here, like the hand tool. And if we move over, the column marquee and row marquee tools are not there by default. And of course, all you need to do is drag them over, and you'll notice the tools palette will move dynamically and let you put these here. So it's just as simple as dragging some of these in, and then there they are. And some of the other ones are the hand tool, the two marquee tools, and finally the pencil and pixel tool. So most everything's there, but go ahead and pull these in if you want. And then later, if you decide, hey, I don't really use that, go ahead and just drop it off, and you'll be set. Well, let's go to the Rulers tab now, the final tab in Preferences, and here's where you're going to set your default measurements for your ruler. So just set what you're going to use the most. Now here's very important, the Snap To section. I recommend that most of these be turned on as they're very helpful when aligning and creating new objects. You can always come back and shut them off, so I'll turn this last one off. And that means the things you create will snap to guides, grids, layers can snap to each other, slices if you're working with web design, and the edges of your documents, it will snap to it. So this can be very helpful. It'll give a light magnetic snap or movement towards these things, which makes things a lot easier. And that's all for the preferences. Now the next stop we'll make here is the top menu of Pixelmator. And it's good to just glance at these things. We won't go through all these now, but just go through and see what options are available. And most importantly, let's go to the View menu. Under the View menu, we're going to be able to open up Pixelmator now and show you some other hidden things. Now, Rulers is the first one. So let's turn on Rulers, and you'll notice here they are. And the nice thing about rulers is it's not just the ruler, but you're also turning on a screen measuring tool and the ability to pull guides if you pull from the edges, which is really nice. You can also right-click and hide guides, clear them, or even change the measurements temporarily of your ruler. So a lot of functionality is hidden there, but go ahead and turn on rulers. I recommend it. Now what this is here, this is called the Tool Options bar. And it's a contextual menu, meaning that if I choose a different tool, it will show options that have to do with that tool specifically, which is real nice. So you notice the text tool has a lot of options here. Now one thing we're missing though is the info bar. If we go back up to view and show info bar. And a lot of information is now shown to you, where your zoom level is, your color profile right here, nice RGB here, and of course where your pointer is on the canvas. Now this isn't all of the things that can be shown. Now I'll move this canvas open a little bit more. And another hidden feature is if you double click on that info bar, now you can go in and you can choose which things are shown here. So I want to see my image dimensions. That's important to me. Maybe the angle is important to see, starting position coordinates, and position change. Now you may not use all of these, but I recommend maybe turning them all on now, and you can go back later and get rid of it if you don't use it. Every time you choose a tool, the menu will change according to that tool, and so will this gear icon. It has more options that won't fit along the bar, so always check here for additional options with each tool. And you'll notice that will change depending on what tool you have. So that's kind of hidden there too. It's not so apparent, but make sure to check the gear icon for more options. Now what you see here are not the only palettes in Pixelmator. Let's open a few more. First we have the brushes palette, and we can open that up to reveal the brushes inspector, and you can make adjustments to your brushes right here. And if you need to save some space, you can close it up by double clicking again. We also have a gradients palette, and you can edit your gradients by double clicking on one gradient and making your adjustments here, and then there's some types of gradients right here. Next is the color picker. You're going to use this quite often in Pixelmator, and there's a lot of options in here. We also have the fonts panel. Now even though you have a lot of options here in the tool options bar with the text tool, there are also some other things in the fonts panel that you'll be able to do. So you may use this, and in a future QuickStep tutorial we'll show you a little bit more about this. And we also have the photo browser. Now you might not use this as much as the others, but it's a nice way to be able to find images you want to use and drag them into your projects. And so these are all the palettes that you'll use the most. You don't have to have them all out at the same time, but we just wanted to show you that through the view menu you can open all of these up, and each one has a shortcut there that you can use to open these two. Okay, well that's all I'm going to cover for today. I hope this helps you who are just getting acquainted with Pixelmator 2 to get your bearings in the application and find out where all this hidden stuff is. Look out for more in-depth tutorials from some of the features we've covered today in future Pixelmator QuickStep videos. I hope you guys enjoyed the new series. Please subscribe to our channel. And for more great step-by-step Pixelmator tutorials, go to pxm-tuts.com. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.